Hey, what's up? It's me again out here, walking my doggy. Beautiful night, nice breeze. It's really good. I was on Facebook today. I just, like I said, this is how I express myself. I'm not really a writer, and I watch Gary Vee a lot, and he says, use the form of medium that you feel more comfortable with expressing yourself, and I find I'm very comfortable with the expression of speaking. So that's what I like to do. So hopefully the wind is not too much here. It's a nice cool breeze. I seen a post about some, I don't know if it was, I don't really know though. I'm one of those guys that I could come in the middle of a conversation and have a full opinion about what I just heard, really not understanding what I heard because I just came in, well, the middle of the conversation. So it was apparently about some minister, like I think he's a cardinal, and I don't really know who those people affiliate with. I've never heard a pastor call himself a cardinal, so I don't really know. Either way, this guy kissed another man, he kissed a guy. And he was talking about the love of God and stuff like this. Like I said, I don't really know what he was talking about. I was just going off of the comments on which people were speaking. And the comments was, how do you Christians always knock on racism and things like that, and then like saying that's bad, but then when you get a homosexual pastor, you just say that's blasphemous, or that's heathenistic, or that's wrong, or that ain't right. And now I ain't want to talk because I'm all jacked up, you feel me? There's something wrong with me in a sense that I've done a lot of stuff, and maybe later on at a later time I'll go in more detail about what I mean by a lot of stuff. But at this point, I'll just say I've done a lot. And my reply to this one individual, she's a woman. That really doesn't mean anything, but it could have been a guy, really. I don't really care who it was. I think she was purple, because color don't really mean shit to me. But the person said, why do you Christians talk like this? And I gave the illustration as such, and I said it in the way I phrased it. I'm going to assume, I'm gonna form a question. I'm gonna state a question. I don't know how you state a question, but anyways, see, I'm not really good at that English stuff. I'm going to pose you a question, but in regards to the question, I'm going to assume that you have two children. And you having two children, you of course laid out your guidelines, your boundaries, your principles in which you run, rule, guide, parent this family by, as the mother, as the father, as the parents, right? And you guys set a standard in such that we will, not be rude. We will listen to our elders. We will, just basic stuff. We won't hurt people. We will, just basic stuff. And child A, he breaks a rule. He does something wrong. But mommy and daddy's not there. Parents are not in the room. They're not in the house. They're not there. Okay? So what I said was, if you had another child, which could be older, could be a twin, doesn't really matter. The other child said, hey, don't do this because mommy, daddy said not to. All right? A parent said not to do it. You're not supposed to do it. Don't do it. The individual in their statement, they said, why do Christians judge so much? And I had to give my opinion on this based on the question that I'm posing. And in a sense, I don't believe it's discipline and judging because a judgment brings a discipline. You know, I've been in front of a judge and he judged me and he disciplined me. And so because of that, there was a punishment according, right? But your siblings are not, they're not their mommy and daddy. They're not our parents, they're not the judge. So we do not judge, but we do correct. If child A did something wrong and child B seen, I hope you would expect child B to say, hey now, hey child A, you're not supposed to be doing this. You know our parents don't like this. You know this is not how we live our lives. This is not how we do it. And that was my statement, you know. Like, it is not our job as Christians to judge, but it is our job as Christians to correct. You know, like, again, if you see your friend doing something wrong, are you not supposed to show them what they are doing wrong? And then, in such, would that not be love? Rather than seeing what they did wrong and then doing absolutely nothing to correct them, to put them on the right path so they could do the right thing. Would that not be, I don't know, I wouldn't want to call it hate, but I wouldn't call that love, you know? I don't know, man. This is just my opinion. And this goes for everything, for me, how I talk to people, right? Like, I'm not here to be the judge. And likeliness, I'm not here to be the parent. I'm just here to be the sibling to point out when daddy said don't do something and you do something, understand, you know, nobody likes when mommy's mad, but ain't nobody like when daddy's mad. You know, my wife does this a lot, you know, or one time we had somebody watching our children and they're like, I'm gonna call mommy, and they're like, oh no. You know, they respected that, and they're like, okay, I'm not going to do that. But it was a little hesitation because, you know, mommy's she's a little nicer, she's a little softer. You know, I'm the one that brings the law and order into the house. You know, but when she says, hey, daddy's gonna, you know, I'm gonna tell daddy, they snap to it. You know, stand at attention type stuff. I think that our society is becoming soft and not liking to be judged, not liking to be corrected. But we're only correcting because we don't want you to be judged. We don't want daddy to tap that ass because we all know when daddy taps that ass ain't good. Do you feel me? And we believe in a God of justness and the righteous judge. You know, what is it? He doesn't hold one weight above another, you know. Sin is a sin in his eyes, and just because you're a good person doesn't banish you from sin, right? But is only living through Jesus Christ, where we represent his kingdom pure and whole through Christ Jesus, not through our own good actions and because the love in our heart. You know, there's a lot of people that said they've been to heaven, and God's brought them to hell, and they seen even the Pope, which, yeah, there's a lot of controversy in that belief system. I'm not going to get into it too tough, but you know, well, I'll stop there. But I think everybody understands what I'm trying to say. You know, maybe nobody's really watching these videos. These are really just for me. Really, but maybe someday somebody will stumble on them and probably accuse me of hate crimes or some shit. But yeah, man. And then another thing, you know, we got some pastors out in the world that love to talk about love and how great and merciful God is, forgetting to talk about the discipline and the wrath of God. And when daddy taps that ass, you might not like it, you know. So we just trying to show you, hey, my dude, don't do that. My sister, don't do that. hey, brother, don't do that, man. It ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And somebody may say, oh, get some good fragrance in the air. We're in Canada, by the way. I think some herbal plants are legalized over here. I don't know. I don't really follow that stuff. But yeah, that was just my comment on that. I don't hate anybody. I actually love more people than anything. I would do anything for somebody, really. And sometimes when somebody asks, why do I do this at nighttime? Are you ashamed of what you say? I'm probably less ashamed of what I say. Just not fully comfortable videotaping myself talking to myself, I guess, in public. I'm still fairly new to this whole doing this stuff in public, doing this stuff, period. And no, I'm not afraid of showing my face. Actually, I think I'm pretty freaking sexy, so I'm definitely not afraid of that. It's just nighttime and I can't really change the lighting. See my face now. Some places I walk there's light, some places I walk there's dark. We're supposed to bring the lightness to the dark. So yeah, man, I'm not ashamed of anything I'm saying. I stand 100% behind it. Ooh, don't want to get no buildings in the way. Yeah, man, I just think that we ought to really consider being a good brother and a good sister and correcting each other. Because I know that if I had a sibling, I would want them to show me what's up. Maybe I didn't hear what my parents said. Maybe I was asleep when that was happening. They're just gonna tell me what I should or should not do. I think that's fine. And I don't think anybody should get the panties up in a bunch about being corrected. That's what I think. Well, we're going on 12 minutes, or past 12 minutes now, so I'm gonna stop this. Love y'all.